Hey folks, welcome back to our Dice Tower preview. I'm Mark.
And I'm Anna.
Today we're taking a look at CATtitude.
CATtitude is brought to you by Mind's Eye Studios. It's for 3 to 4 players, ages 12 and up, and games range about 25 to 30 minutes.
Great, well let's go see how much chaos we can cause as cats of the house. CATtitude is a simulation of the real-life struggle between cats and the human of the house. While one is desperately trying to keep things in order, the others cause as much trouble as they can.
Each player is a cat in the house. You collect cards and use them to cause chaos throughout the house by stealing, destroying, and knocking things over. But be careful, the human is not going to be happy if he catches you.
Players also take turns controlling the human, who frantically runs around the house, trying to clean up after the cats and catch them in their mischievous acts.
To win the game, earn paw points by causing trouble as cats, but cleaning up as the humans. The first player to earn 13 or more paw points at the end of their cat's turn wins the game.
Alright, just a quick look at setup. First thing you'll do is lay out the main board, which is the house all the cats will be roaming in. Then you'll take all the item tokens and you're going to place them in their corresponding room, their matching color, and you'll put them on their undisturbed side. Then you'll take all the room tokens and you'll shuffle those up and create a stack. Each player then will pick a certain cat to play throughout the game. The neat thing here is that these player boards really have everything you need to play the game. Very handy reference guide, and each of the cats has their own name. And then you'll take the corresponding colored meeple matching your cat. Each player will then take a room token and that will be the starting position for your cat.
The player who's most recently pet a cat gets to go first. The human token will be given to the player to the right of the first player. The human meeple will be placed in the hallway.
And then you'll take the cards, you'll shuffle them up, and you will deal out 3 cards. These 3 cards will be the start of the discard pile. Each player then receives 4 cards as their starting hand. Now there's also tokens that will be put to the side of the board that represent the points everyone is after.
Each round consists of a player taking their turn as a cat and one player taking its turn as a human. The player with the human token takes their turn as the human before they take their turn as the cat.
So you're going to be performing 4 actions on your turn, and you must perform these in order. The first thing you're doing is drawing 3 cards, and you can draw them from the draw pile or from the discard pile, any combination you so choose. And then you're going to move. You can move your cat pawn to any room you so choose. Then you're going to play trouble cards, which we'll take a closer look at in a minute, but you'll play these trouble cards out in front of you for everyone to see. And then finally, you'll end your turn with discarding. You must discard 2 cards from your hand, if you have any cards in your hand, that is. And if you chose to take a cat nap on your turn, you can skip this step. Alright, so let's take a closer look at these trouble cards, because I really feel like they're the heart of the game, right?
Oh yes.
And there are 4 different types.
And these types are destroy, knock over, steal, and cuddle.
And the colors of these cards do correspond to the different colored tokens, and in a lot of cases the colored rooms. However, stolen items can be moved all over the house.
And trouble cards can only be played if the cat is in the same room as that item.
Indeed, and if that item is also undisturbed. And this is where human really comes into play, because you need human to show up in the room to reset everything, so potentially you can go after those items later. Alright, the first 2 we're going to take a look at, these first 2 trouble cards are Steal and Destroy. And both of these are going to require that you spend 2 turns in order to complete the task. And again, in the top right corner of those cards, those trouble cards, will show you what you're going to get in paw points. Now, the thing with Steal is that you're looking for that particular item. You know, if someone had stolen it previously,
It could be in a different room.
It could be in a different room, indeed. So you're looking for that item, and as soon as you find it, you're going to flip that token and put your cat on top of it. And then
You're going to really hope that human doesn't find you.
Exactly.
Or you're in trouble.
You're in big trouble. So to prep for your next turn, you will draw a room token, and this will show where you need to take that item, hoping to evade the human along the way.
And with the destroy card, that also takes 2 turns.
Yes.
So first you'll put the card down in front of you, you'll flip the token over and put your cat on top of that token.
And it takes time to destroy something, right? So you need another matching card on your next turn. And you may not have it in hand, so you may have to go fishing for it in the discard pile or in the draw pile.
Yes, and you may end up having to nap if you can't get it right away. And hope the human doesn't catch you.
Indeed.
Okay, you've heard us mention cuddle and nap. Let's go ahead and discuss those. Cuddle is a trouble card that you can play and move the human to a specific room.
Right, and this might be a really interesting tactic to go after a bunch of cats in a room that have a bunch of disturbed items. You might even move it to your room.
Yes, so you can keep other cats from getting paw points and maybe get more paw points for yourself if they're humans in a different room.
Indeed, but the thing is, there are ways to evade the human, which we'll look at in a minute.
Yes, and as for napping, if you're in the middle of destroying an item and you only have one card, you can choose to nap. You'll still draw your 3 cards, but then you won't play any other trouble cards and you'll gain 1 paw point. You do not have to discard any cards with that one as well.
And it's important to note that you can't use the napping technique to win the game.
No. The final trouble card we haven't discussed yet is knockover. This takes a pair of cards that you have to play at the same time. You really want an evade card, which again we'll discuss later, because the human will come running to your room.
Yeah, immediately.
Yes.
Because you made noise.
Right. You'll still get the paw points, but you really want to keep from getting caught.
Yep. Because getting caught has dire consequences. However, it might be worth it sometimes.
Yes.
All right, let's talk about the human next and how to evade being caught. All right, so the player that has the human token will have to activate the human before they get to do their cat's turn. And in doing so, the first step is to move the human to any room you so choose, which might be going after your fellow cats at the table trying to gather points. But really, you're trying to move the human to a room that has disturbed items, either to capture cats or perhaps you just need those items reset so you can go after them. But the first step is to move.
Well, you can also stay where you are if you see that the other player is trying to take a stolen item to that same room, and you might stay there to keep the other player from completing their task. Next, the human tries to capture cats in a room if there are disturbed items, but only if there are disturbed items. If this happens, the cats will try to evade. Now, these evade cards are run, sneak, and hide.
And hopefully you have some in your hand.
Yes, if you don't, well, then you're caught.
There are penalties, yes.
Yes. If you choose run, you have to run to a non-adjacent room. You are able to take the stolen item with you or if you are in that process. Sneak, you have to run to an adjacent room. And again, if you are trying to steal an item, you can take that item with you. The last evade card is hide. If you do have that card and you lay it down, you lay your pawn on its side, and you and the item you're either trying to steal or destroy is hidden from the human until you discard that card.
However, if you are caught as the cat, any trouble cards that you have in front of you have to be discarded, as well as you have to discard 1 card from your hand. And then it's time for the human to clean up the room. For every disturbed token in that room, you will flip them over. And the player with the human token will then gain 1 point for each of those tokens that were turned over. And then finally, that player token is passed to the player on the right.
And this continues round after round until one cat player reaches 13 paw points at the end of their turn.
All right, folks, just a reminder once again, this has been a Dice Tower paid preview. Everything you've seen here has been in prototype form, so keep a close eye on the campaign for any changes that still may occur. Now, with that said, you know, this game plays really fast, and what I found interesting was some of the thematic choices that you make with the human and how you disrupt what the other cats are doing, and how you really need to pay attention to what everyone has played at the table, and so you're careful what you're discarding, because you are required to discard on every turn.
The thematic of the whole game and the artwork is awesome, and how the person that created this game really caught the cats and how
the essence of the cats.
Yes. How ornery those cats can be.
Indeed. Absolutely. All right, folks. So ultimately, though, if this looks like something that would be of interest to you, I'm sure they'd appreciate your support. So I think that's it from us. And until next time, we'll see you at the table.
Thanks so much for watching another Dice Tower video. If you enjoy our videos, subscribe to the channel for more fun, comprehensive board game coverage. Also, consider joining us at one of our events. Come to Dice Tower Retreat, a small, intimate gathering where gaming is king. Join us for Dice Tower Cruise, the largest board game cruise. Attend Dice Tower West in Las Vegas for gaming fun on the West Coast, or Dice Tower East in Orlando in sunny Florida. Dice Tower Conventions, the friendliest gaming conventions on Earth. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower.